such an asshole.
Blind as a bat, Cappy here over at assholeconsulting.com because Cappy just had his eye exam and his pupils are dilated. And if you saw my eyes, you'd be like, it's freaky. So now I'm doing my Top Gun impersonation. And hopefully I can read. Our Ashkenazi Jewish agent in the field writes, "Hi, Aaron, new video request for you. Please name the price. I'm disappointed in my fellow lawyers for not fighting against the COVID tyranny nearly as much as I would have expected. A few lawyers out there do fight the government in different states, but that's nearly enough for, but I think he meant to say that's not nearly enough for a meaningful pushback. Why is it? And do you think that if the lockdowns affected lawyers more directly, i.e. if lawyers were deemed non-essential, then way more of them would have risen and gotten involved in fighting back against violations of various rights and freedoms? Thanks, Arcady." I said, well, tell me about these lawyers you're talking about. Are you talking about specific lawyers in general? He says, let me clarify. I wasn't referring to any specific lawyers, just lawyers in general didn't come together to fight the tyranny. And many, if not most, support the restrictions. Does my question video still make sense? Yes, it does. So, all right. I don't think I charge that much because it's not that complicated. Arcady, do not confuse yourself with lawyers, your average lawyer. Your average lawyer is a leftist. Okay, let's paint the stereotype. Everyone grab a piece of paper. We'll do a little Bob Costas or whoever the guy does the quiet painting with the fuzzy fro. We're all going to paint the average American lawyer. Okay, your average American lawyer is a lazy egomaniac. Unfortunately, they don't have rich parents, so they can't act on that egomanianism, but they're going to save the world. And the path, they didn't know they're going to be lawyers at first, but the path most lawyers that we have today, the path they took is that they were going to change the world because at 17, they knew everything and knew how the world should be ran. Because I'm 17. I've had puberty for 3 years now. And they majored in the liberal arts or the social sciences. And once that bubble burst the day after they graduated with their bachelor's degree, they could not accept the fact that they're basically losers. Now, student debt-riddled losers. And it's not even the finances, but they said, I'm going to go to law school. I'm going to affect change. Not one day in the real world. Not one day flipping a burger. They're too good for that. They already know that they're going to tell the real world how to run. So then they go off to law school. And as you know, there's only so many, was it the T14, the tier level 1, L14, whatever, or is it 17? Only so many seats available there. And then those guys and gals go off and get real jobs. And then there's this huge swath, and especially if you consider the past couple of recessions we've had, not a lot of employment. It was funny. A couple of people saying, hey, Cappy, it was 2017, 2018, 2019. I know a lot of lawyers graduating from second tier schools. They're getting pretty good job offers. So yeah, how's that working for you now, huh? A little susceptible there to recessions? Get back to where you belong. And so keep in mind that no matter, just because they got a JD doesn't mean they're libertarian, freedom-loving American people. They're pretty much dumb, egotistical leftists. That's all they are, the majority of them. Some of them get a little wake-up call when they go work for one of the top-tier law firms, like, oh, how much do I pay in taxes? But they're more about the prestige. And maybe they vote Democrat, but and if you're working in one of the big firms, you got more important crap to do than fight some law against or fight some lockdowns or law for coronavirus. But your rank and file lawyers are inferior people. They're leftists. And they love it when government comes in to save the world. All right. They love it when government executes control. That's government making the world better. They don't think about individuality, the philosophy of the individual and volunteerism and freedom. That's not them. They are going to they're saving the world right now. Right? So they are politically aligned, ideologically aligned, philosophically aligned with preventing people from doing things that are going to hurt them. Except for pot. Then they're okay with pot. So that's generally why, I would say. then, you know, they're not to kiss your ass. They're not critical thinkers like you. They're just, they're Democrat, leftist, socialist through and through. They got a master's degree and they got bigger things on their mind. Like it also takes time to pay off all that student loan, law school debt, unless they're gainfully employed. You know, they got to have like a real job, like bartending or something like that. And so they're in financial straits. So they don't have time to do nonprofit work or go file addendums or whatever his lawyers do to like, I had to file a suit against the city. No, they like, oh boy, rent's due. And my Trump bucks ran out. Maybe I ought to get one of these things called a real job. So there you go. The other thing, and this I do know, because I do have a couple lawyer friends in the field, there may be another completely apolitical reason lawyers are shutting up and not going to fight the great and merciful Corona Chan, bless her endless bounty. You think these lawyers want to go to the downtown offices? I have a buddy who is partner at one of the big three or big five, whatever. I don't know. It's one of they have a downtown Minneapolis office. They own several floors, or they rent several floors in one of the bigger downtown things. They got offices across the country. It's one of the, I forget which one it was. Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Okay. And she's partner, big time lawyer gal. And her and the younger partners, because she's a little bit older than me, but she's roughly my age, they cannot wait for these old fogies to retire, these boomers, to get the F out, you know, just go into retirement or die in some cases. You know, the reason why is because they're like, we are wasting so much money on office space rent that doesn't need to happen. And I get sick and tired of driving to downtown Minneapolis. Minneapolis ain't that bad of a town traffic. I can't imagine what it's like for LA lawyers or San Francisco lawyers or New York lawyers or Philadelphia lawyers and like that. And so I didn't know if you knew this, but you don't have to do your job from an overpriced downtown commercial building because it's got a great view. Look at us. Look how big our dicks are. Here we are at Johnson Johnson and Schmoey. Oh, we got huge dicks. Look at the size of this building we're in. It's you get it? See, you get the innuendo, the metaphor, Look at the big coffee table room we got. Everything's big here at Johnson Johnson and Schmoboy. And maybe that worked back in the boomer days when, you know, it was flashing cash and 80s hair and Ferraris. But now I think the younger generation is taking over. It's like, oh, and that was the other thing. They had a huge financial incentive. Like they would have gotten, because they're partners and they got share in the profits of the firm. They're like, how much more money do I make if one, I don't have to commute, and then two, we get rid of floors, literal floors of a downtown office building. And like, yeah, we'll keep like an office there and maybe a boardroom or two, but we don't need floors to house the lawyers. They got homes. And I think that's another huge incentive for lawyers is like, I haven't had a commute in a year. I know many people haven't had to commute in a year. So there you go. All right. I'll be on Rolo's channel here pretty soon. Cappy, we must see. All right, here. You want to see the pupils? Human being wants to see the pupils. I don't know if we can see that. I can't see, like, I can barely make anything out. Thankfully, my computer screen is very big. Do we have any super chats? Oh, here we do. DJ Aftershock. Oop. Cappy channeling the inner Dupro within. I wish. Although I guess with the collar up, I kind of do look douchey, don't I? Bexy Mike, $2. Apparently, C comment below is hurt feeling type. What? Oh, God, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Aaron Maverick Cappy. Maverick and Goose. The list was long, but distinguished. Did you know, Med, $2 Canadian. GoFundMe for world's greatest economist bailout. Just kidding. Thank you, DigiNomad. Yes, the Great Clary bailout. So, oh, by the way, for those of you tuning in, I may be switching over to the older brother channel for a while, not only to grow that, but there was because I'm switching LLCs and everything. I'm not sure Google's paying me out on this channel now because it's been postponed. So it's under review. And I'm like, oh, wait, are you not going to pay me? Is it so? All you guys have been very kind sending in your super chats. But just so you know, I'll make a video announcement here and send you to the other one. But for in the meantime, now go to the Older Brother channel. Go to YouTube, Older Brother, look up Older Brother, subscribe to that one. And then that way you get a notification if I switch over there. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.